Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special episode of The Skinny. Today, I'm going to tell you a personal story. I'm going to attempt to transport you with me back into the middle of Hurricane Harvey. I'm going to leave you with a valuable lesson. First, here is my process. I'm going to share this with you. It'll be linked in the resource box below. Here's my story. Turn around or drown was the flashing sign that I came to about 30 minutes north of Houston, Texas. Pitch dark, raining pretty hard, scary. Rewind 48 hours. Hurricane Harvey is hitting Houston. Huge storm. My wife and I decide, hey, we're going to follow the advice of the people that know what to do, and we're going to get out of town. We're going to get out of Dodge. So we get on a plane, we fly to Scottsdale, Arizona. As we're driving to the hotel to check in, I just have this pit pain in my stomach, and I look at my wife and I say, I'm going back. I got to get boots on the ground. My team is there. I can't leave them there. And she said, Duke, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. And she goes, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to put them in danger because they're going to have to come rescue your tail. And I said, no, I'll figure it out. So I checked in the hotel, got back in the same Uber, went to the airport. Houston Hobby shut down. Bush International shut down. No airport, no problem. Fly to Dallas, rent a Ford Escape, drive 3 hours south. I knew it was bad. About an hour into my trip, I got passed by about 20 fire trucks headed to Houston. I said, hey, this must be pretty bad. So I keep driving. I come into the Woodlands, which is about 45 minutes north of Houston. And it's really just kind of sprinkling, right? It's drizzly, it's dark, but I'm like, this is nothing, right? 2 seconds later on I-45, burly cop standing in the middle of the road with his hands on his hips and a blinking sign, turn around or drown. He said, sir, get off on this exit ramp and start driving north. Everything south of me is underwater. I said, roger that. Get off on the exit ramp, take it right, headed north, pitch dark. And I do what all of us would probably, I called my wife. I said, hey, look, it's pretty dark here. I said, just talk to me until I get back to the hotel. And I could hear the anger in her voice, but she was still cool, calm, and collective. And she said, look, I want you to call out the street signs as you go by so at least I know where you're at. It's a great idea. Now, I'm one of those people that if I watch a rescue on TV and people are trying to drive through floods and through water, I'm the guy that says, you know what? They should have to pay for that, right? They should have to pay those first responders in the city for them being a nutcase and trying to make it through that. Then I feel this cold sensation on my ankles. And before I could say anything, I saw water come up over the hood of the car. And I said, oh crap. My wife said, roll down the window. So reach over, hit the automatic window. The back passenger side window rolls down about that much. Car dies. I said, got to call you back. So I swim out the back of the window, squeezed out the window. Water is about waist high. And I do a quick survey of the area. There's an apartment complex that's across the street, and it's not a nice apartment complex. There's no awning, there's no cover, there's nowhere I can stay dry, but I said, hey, I'm going. As I'm running up or wading up to the apartment complex, I noticed that the water is already over the doorknobs on the first floor, so I have to go to the second floor. So I roll my phone up in my shirt so I didn't lose it, it wouldn't get too wet, and I knock on the door. 2 words, go away. And I thought to myself, this is not good. I said, I'm going to call 911, not an emergency, but just let them know I'm out here. Nobody answered. It must have rang 100 times. So I come up with a quick game plan like any of us would do, which for me was, I'm going to run as fast as I can to the nearest light. Headlight, tail light, street light, gas station light, don't care, I'm running. Which is really a slow run. I'm tripping because I can't see what's below the 4 or 5 feet of water. And some points it's chest high. I look back, the car is almost completely underwater, and I see a light upstairs. I was like, that's it. So I go upstairs, and as I start to knock on the door, I noticed that the door jamb was just kind of ripped to shreds. I open the door, and I meet George. George is a guy from Jamaica. I would say he's a Rastafari guy. He had a hat with dreadlocks. His hat was the size of an exercise ball. Huge, nicest guy in the world. I said, listen, man, I'm in a bad way. I need some help. I need to come inside to come up with a game plan. He didn't even say anything. He just shook his head, took a step back. So I stepped into the apartment, and immediately I realized that it was safer where I came in from than it was in that apartment, right? I scanned around. The slide doors that were glass were broken. There's rain coming in at an angle in the apartment. There's a pile of charcoal in the corner, right? There's some weights. There's crap everywhere. And I said, hey, listen, man, I'm really cool. Can I borrow a towel? He said, don't have any towels. I said, fine. Can I borrow your bathroom? He said, bathroom doesn't work. I said, oof. I said, I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to go get my briefcase out of that car, and I'm going to come back in. I'm going to knock on this door. If you don't answer the door, I'm kicking the door down. He said, just shook his head. So go back out, managed to get my briefcase out. Computer's dry. It's on my shoulder. I come back in. I said, hey, man, I'm going to have to spend a few minutes here till I come up with a game plan. He said, no problem. So 3 hours later, it's raining. I'm freezing. He goes to bed. I stay awake. Obviously, don't sleep. Halfway through the night, he comes out with a beat up, ratty mattress cover that's got holes in it. He said, hey, man, I know you're cold, and I don't have any sheets, and I don't have any blankets, but if you want to wrap up in this, you can do it. I said, thanks, George. I appreciate that. I wrapped up in that thing, didn't sleep a wink, right? 7 o'clock the next morning, like clockwork, phone rings. Guess who? Mark Bland. Our Monday, 7 a.m. 101, like clockwork. I said, hey, boss, I'm in a situation here with this hurricane. Need to call you back. He said, well, where are you at? I said, I'm in Greens Point. He goes, oh, that's Guns Point. Do you have your gun? And I said, no. And so know that George is sitting on the couch listening to Mark Bland's voice come out of the phone. I said, no, just let me figure it out. So hang up. I called the tow truck company. I said, hey, listen, man, I need you to come get me. They said, okay, great. We'll put you on the list. It'll be 12 hours. It's $300 to hook you up, $60 a mile. And I said, fine, dude, let's do it. And so about 3 hours later, as I'm having to go to the bathroom off the balcony, because it's still pouring down rain, it's still kind of dark, there's no electricity, but the sun's coming up, and there are boats going up and down the road, right? Up and down the main road, the water is so deep. So I go to the bottom of the Google list, and I call this number, and I say, hey, man, is this JJ's tow truck? JJ's towing company. And there's a young kid on the other line, and he answered the phone. He said, hello. I said, hey, is this JJ's company? He said, yeah. I said, is this JJ? He said, no, it's JJ's son. I said, JJ's son, here's the deal. I need you to come pick me up. Whatever your dad is going to pay you, I will double it in cash. And if you move me to the top of the list, I'll triple it. He said, where are you at? I said, I'm in Greens Point. He said, ooh, that's a pretty rough area, and I know that's underwater. I said, well, I need your help, buddy. So he comes back, goes and talks to his dad, comes back. He said, we're going to come get you. I said, how long is it going to take? He said, 20 minutes. I said, yes. 20 minutes later, I see this old school tow truck pull up. I run out there. By this time, the water's gone down a little bit. You can almost see the tops of the tires of the car. He said, get in the car, put it in neutral. I get in the car, it's dead. Nothing works, nothing, not even a sound. I said, hey, man, I can't get it in neutral. He said, no problem. Jimmy, bring me a screwdriver. His brother comes out, he's got a screwdriver, pops it down into the stick of the car. Car goes in neutral. He said, hey, sir, get in the cab of the tow truck. It's raining outside. I said, roger that. So we get in the tow truck. I'm riding with the two young kids. And I said, hey, where are you taking me? He said, there's only one place we can go. It's the Night's Inn. Now, for those of you who lived in Texas or are familiar with it, or know a Night's Inn, it's not a pretty place, right? But I was thankful. So I walk in, and there's a family of three, I think, mom, dad, son, behind a piece of 1-inch thick bulletproof glass. And there's like 6 parakeets, 6 birds flying around back there with them, right? It's crazy. And I said, hey, do you have any rooms available? And she said, hourly or nightly? I said, nightly. She said, yes, we do. I said, can I get a non-smoking room for 3 nights? And she said, she goes, I can give you a room for 3 nights and it's non-smoking, but I'm betting it's been smoked in. I said, hey, no problem. I'll take it. I said, ma'am, do you have a restaurant? And if so, what time does it close? And she said, honey, this is not that kind of hotel. I said, roger that. She said, I'll give you $5 in quarters and you can hit the vending machine around the corner. I said, thank you. Go around the corner, empty the vending machine. 7 cans of Fanta grape, 4 bags of Funyuns, and 2 bags of Doritos. I rationed that over the next 2.5 days, and I was just thankful and happy that I had shelter and that I was out of the rain. So 2 days later, I get a call from Jared Henson, who worked with me in College Station an hour and a half down the road. Now, Jared is the real hero of this story. He said, hey, man, I talked to Mark Bland. I'm coming to rescue you. I said, no. Every road in Houston is closed. Look at the map. He said, I'll find a way in. A few hours later, he calls me. He said, hey, I'm on my way. Hour and a half later, he said, I'm pulling in right now. I said, God bless you, man. I go out, jump in the truck with him, and he's got this smoking, like little plastic white styrofoam doggy bag thing. And he said, hey man, I brought you some sausage from this gas station between here and College Station. I thought to myself, gas station sausage? Sounds great. Best damn sausage I've had to this day. He was a lifesaver. The guy takes me an hour and a half to the airport in College Station, jump on a plane, fly back. My wife picks me up and just has this look like, I told you so. And so it was a rough ride home. It was a rough weekend or a couple days. By this time it's Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But the two key takeaways from this story. Number one, never go into a hurricane. If there's a hurricane coming, get the hell out of Dodge. If you survive the hurricane, it's the aftermath that you're going to have to deal with. No bueno. Number two, and more importantly, listen to your spouse. We now have a veto word when we're in a tragic scenario, and that's probably the one good thing that came out of it. So if something is happening and I'm making bad decisions, or she thinks I'm making bad decisions, she's got the veto power to say, nope, we're doing it my way. And I thank her for that. So lost a car, lost some weight, but I'm healthy and I was safe. And I want to thank everybody for taking care of me. And Jared, your life's everybody. Appreciate you.